We're so close to launching! Get diesel in, all the seacocks are closed, rudder is back in, steering is good, and we just gotta bleed the lines.
Three weeks on the hard was a lot harder than we thought. Originally thinking we were only going to be there for 1 week, 3 ended up being 3 times as long. So we're really ecstatic and happy to be finally entering the water. Alright, so a short list of everything we need to complete while we're in the lift. Right now we're in the small lift that just got it out of the little slip we were in. We're going in the big 40-ton lift in the slings. So we got to paint the bottom where our little mounts are from our cradle here. So right here there's no paint, so we got to paint those up. We got to slap in our rudder because as you can see over here we're rudderless. That's going to be the bigger job to do. And then we got to prime our diesel tank because we just got it all hooked up. There's no diesel in it yet, so we got to throw diesel in it and prime it up. Hopefully we'll be good to go after. Oh, and we got to close all our seacocks before entering the water to make sure we can check them one by one while opening them. And I think that's it. Wish us luck.
It's kind of crazy to think that I knew nothing about sailboats and nothing about rebuilding a rudder, for example, which we ended up having to do. We installed a new diesel tank, we removed the hot water tank, cleaned the whole boat and fixed a bunch of stuff which we've done videos on. And it's just really satisfying to know that we've done all those things on our sailboat and that hopefully it's safer and that everything's gonna hold together. But seeing that big lifting our sailboat was a little nerve-wracking, I've gotta say.
A few inches later.
After scouring the island of Newfoundland looking for a sailboat, turns out we had better luck in Port Colborne, Ontario. So this is where we ended up starting our journey.
What's that?
Just packing up the stuffing box here.
So I've painted all the little square pads where we were being held in our cradle and the bottom of the rudder, and we're getting closer.
Our assembly now. Woohoo! Now we just got to bolt in our steering assembly there and we should be good to go. At least for the steering part of the job.
So we used to be high on our stand, but now we're really high. And Corey's down there working on putting back the assembly line for the rudder. I'm dealing with the exhaust, trying to make sure it's not in the way of the steering. I'm gonna have to go close all the seacocks.
We're almost there. We got the steering all hooked up. It may have to come up a little higher. If we hear rubbing or anything, we will have to slide it up a little bit more, but that's not a big deal. Now we're just trying to secure all this, make sure our vent is above our fill hose so we can get a good vent on our diesel tank. Alright, it's the moment of truth. Alex is in her favorite spot.
This is my hole.
And we have our diesel tank. Well, it's a gas tank that's marked diesel on it, so we've been using it as a diesel tank. Somebody was kind enough to loan us a few diesel tanks to empty our tanks. And we're ready to put our diesel back into our fill cap. We still have to seal our fill cap, but we have to ground it off first, so we're not going to seal it yet.
So I have a rag and I'm going to be looking down there just to make sure that the diesel is going into the right tank and not dripping out all the different hoses. So we'll see. We're so close to launching. So we've got diesel in, all the seacocks are closed, rudder is back in, steering is good. We've got some fender lines. Now Corey's gone to get the other fender that we will add to our collection of beautiful blue fenders. And we just gotta bleed the lines. I was readjusting, well, the hose clamping, if that's a word. The little hose clamps that were on the primer pump ball thing because we had it backwards. Oops! So anyways, now it's back on and it's actually working, so I'm just waiting for Corey to come back and we'll finish this and then we're gonna be pretty much good to go. Woohoo!
11 minutes later.
I initially thought it wouldn't be a big deal to see our 15,000-pound sailboat being lifted up, but as soon as the straps were secured and everything started moving, I was a little worried that the rudder we had just built and secured would actually fall off.
Watching our sailboat and our home being moved over top of the water, I couldn't help but picture the rudder just coming loose and splashing into the water below. Luckily that didn't happen, and the rudder stayed in place, and she started floating. Remember that feeling when you first ride a bike, how nervous you felt? Well, multiply that by 33 feet for a 33-foot sailboat, and that's how nervous I felt.
We're in the water. Had a bit of an oh shit moment. We had some water coming in quite heavily from the shaft. But luckily we've got some sailboat friends that helped us out, and we lifted the boat back again, ended up putting some packing right by where the propeller shaft is, cranked it again and back in the water, and now we're getting that like 1 drip a minute that we're supposed to. Yay!